with any luck, we'll see a buck today. All right, that's where I hit him. There he is. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Calvin and today we're whitetail hunting. I'm based in Ontario, Canada, and today is November 13th. We got great weather conditions, clear skies, the sun's out. It's about -1, -2 degrees Celsius. I'm based in the Sudbury, Ontario region, and right now we're just about in the peak rut. There's a few bucks and does that are locked down with one another, so they're getting their breeding on. And then afterwards, that buck will start roaming around. But I've had to pick up and switch locations this year just because this year we have a high count of black bears and other predators such as wolves and coyotes in the regions that I'm hunting. So I'm still doing my part in managing those predator populations, but still it has an impact on the deer and the moose population. So I've packed up, I've regrouped, I've done a lot of online scouting, I've talked to a few buddies, and I've been able to find a few different pieces of crown land to bounce around. So this year we're hunting public land. We're not doing any private farms whatsoever. Not that I have in the past, but that's just how we go up here. So today we are in the second half of rifle season. So we got about 4 or 5 days left until Sunday. And then afterwards, the second rut will come online in December, and I'll probably be out here if I haven't got the job done with a muzzle loader or black powder. So it's great conditions today. It's about -4 degrees Celsius. I'm playing the wind big time. I'm playing some really key features. In the past 2-3 days I've been out here, I've covered about 15-20 kilometers just studying the different features off the base maps, off the topography, and finding out where all the little, let's say, bedding areas are, food sources, as well as creeks are. So since it's the peak rut, I'm focusing on water crossings and water right now because the bucks, they're really focused on breeding right now. And then probably towards the second half of the month, they'll start to cool down a bit. They'll focus more on food before those fawns and those younger does go into heat. So I've got a few hot does around here. We're finding a lot of good sign that's showing that's the case. So with any luck, we'll see a buck today. But I'll give you an understanding where I'm hunting right now, and you can see the features that I'm playing. Right now I'm sitting on top of a rock face that's on one side of a funnel system. It connects two bogs. So there's the bog on the left hand side. It narrows down into a creek with water flow, and it connects to the bog out behind me. So my scent is blowing out towards that bog, so I'm not too worried about something coming downwind of me. Across from me, I got a really good ridge system that has buck bedding area up on the top. I know that's the case because I've bounced a few deer yesterday during my hike. So I'm going to sit down here on the other side, and hopefully those bucks will come on down. And if I have any traveling bucks from different regions, they're going to be walking the river's edge and then jumping across. So in front of me, I also have a water crossing with a fresh scrape about 15 yards away from me. I'm downwind from it. And so we got a good game trail that feeds right across and along the river stream too. The bucks are also coming down from their bedding area and then also hiking up there. So we'll see how this turns out. We got some really good conditions today. I'm excited to see if we get a deer. All right, guys, there you have it. We got it done. It's around 12:30 right now. I was sitting in my chair. The sun's out. The weather's awesome. And I expected deer to come across from me on the opposing funnel. We got some bedding area up on top of that hill, right? And they've been walking around the edge of these bogs and jumping across in front of me. So my wind's still blowing out over that bog. But I was sitting in my chair, and we had a younger buck come around the edge of the bog and then jump on up the hill. I didn't realize he was here until 9 yards away. He was pretty much standing on top of me. So I was sitting in my chair with my gun watching, and he came up on my 4 or 5 o'clock from my side. And I'm a right-hand shooter, so I couldn't turn around without startling him. So I had to sit there for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then he decided to turn around, start walking away a little bit. I think he knew I was in the area. That said, I got a great big pine tree behind me. And so that gave me an opportunity to sit behind that, crouch, get my gun ready. And he started to trot away a little bit. I whistled and he gave me a shot broadside. So he's hit, he jumped. He went maybe 15, 20 yards. I'm going to give him another 10 minutes just to expire. I don't want to bump him in the event that the shot was wrong, but looks like he's down. So that's fantastic. This is my first year. I'm excited for this like no other. So this is going to be a good day. I couldn't get the shot on camera. He was just too close, and I never expected him to come from that angle. So it is what it is. We're still going to try to make this an awesome memory for you guys to watch. So yeah, so this gives you what I was looking at. I was sitting in the chair. We've got the bog down here. They've been walking around the edges and then jumping across right in front of me and coming up here. I got 2 scrapes here that they've been active, and then I got another bog over there. Up on top we had that bedding area, and they've been coming up down here to either drink or to jump the river to the other side. So I was sitting here. He came up pretty much on the other side of that tree right there, and he just locked up. So I shot him pretty much over by those 2 trees. But hey, this is gonna be awesome. I'll show you exactly how close he was. So there's my chair. The deer came and stopped right here. There's my chair. So he snuck in around here, then jumped up here, and that's when I heard him. All right, that's where I hit him. He kicked pretty good there, and he jumped on down. So we're gonna take our time down here. That's where he put it down. All right, guys, so I'm tracking the deer right now. When I took off, I waited about 20 minutes. Looks like I took out possibly the front shoulder, and I bounced him. So he's gone about maybe another 100 yards. I dumped another shot into him. I'm pretty sure that one went through the lungs, broadside, no problem. So I just waited another 10-15 minutes, and we're gonna get back to it. So yeah, you can see he's dragging something. There's a lot more blood there. Some more blood. Look at that. Yeah, he's not going far. There he is. All right, he's down. All right, he's down, guys. Right on. Look at this. Taking my hands off for this. All right, guys, there's my first deer. This is one of the best days ever, but it's also one of the hardest days, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I love being out here, I miss a lot of people. And sure, I'm doing this solo today, but I could still feel them. Dad died back in 2019, and when I was back in college, Grandpa George died. those two got me into the outdoors. They got me into hunting, fishing. They'd bring me along. Started going at like 4 years old, 5 years old. I just rolled over 34 this year. And if I look back 2-3 years ago, I wasn't sure if I was going to make 34. So this is a super special deer for me. I know that both of them, they're probably looking down, smiling, laughing, telling a few jokes. But hopefully they're celebrating too. Ironically, this is almost exactly like the same deer that my dad shot for his first deer. And I was telling my buddy TJ the other day, who just shot his first buck like 2 days ago, that, you know, I think everyone's first deer should probably be a 4-pointer, at least here in Ontario, and then earn your stripes afterwards. So even though this is a 4-pointer, and some of you might laugh at that, this may as well be a 10, 12-point buck in my parts. And this is a monster. This is awesome. So this is a very hard day for me too. Like I said, never got a chance to call Dad. Back in the day, we used to do a lot of hunting. We used to do a lot of pushing too. So my dad and a few other buddies, Shannon, Joel, Hubbard, with Dave Hubbard, their dad, we'd all hunt together as kids. And I'd be the dog, I'd be the pusher, and these guys would be set up on the other side of the on the other side of the deer drive to go ahead and shoot. And then now this is my turn to take my first deer. And those boys, I don't know where they're at these days, but hopefully they get a chance to watch this too. This is a lot of flashbacks are coming back. A lot of the same feelings. And even though I never got a chance to call my dad over the walkie-talkie, or even call him up after and say, hey, I did it, still made a call today. I can't believe this has actually come. 30 years I've dreamt about this moment. And there'll be never a moment like this again. My first deer, right? Of course, I always want to improve as a hunter on season to season. But I don't think there's nothing quite like your first buck, especially when you're by yourself. I'll remember this day forever. I could look back at it with this video too. Relive it. Understand the story, the emotions, the thrill of it. And just a lot of the effort, not just that I've put in, but then some of my close friends and family have too. Because trust me, it's not easy. Doing the things that I've done too, after cancer, holy cow. This has been a record year. Never thought this year I'd be getting a wolf. I was able to do that. This year I got my second bear. And now I've just got my first deer. So a trifecta. But most importantly, we're still beating cancer. We're still raising awareness for men's health issues. Whether you're a hunter or fisherman, doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, you don't even have to do any of these things either. You just be following the page. It's important to talk about your physical and mental health because you don't know when something will go wrong. Something did go wrong with me initially. That's when I first found my cancer in 2023. And then we had a relapse in 24. That was a really hard time for me. I didn't expect it. I felt fine. And I was getting ready to go back to work. But then that's when I got hit with chemo. So I lost 50 pounds of muscle. Obviously, I have a different look. And that's also one of the reasons why I still sport the mustache right now. It was the first thing to come back when my hair started to grow. And right now it's kind of almost been a good conversation starter with a lot of people just to get them talking, to help lift the stigmas behind some of these hard subjects that us guys just have a hard time talking about. Whether it's testicular cancer, prostate cancer, men's mental health, you name it. These things can be very, very hard for us to just open up about because they're so challenging subjects to be just vulnerable about. You really got to take down your barriers, take down your walls, and go get checked out if you need to. I did, and I'm still here because of it. Most men, they wait 5.5 months after they find something wrong with their testicles to go see the doctor. And in some cases, that's too late. Treatment won't work. It spreads throughout your body. And when I got my testicular cancer, I saw a doctor the same day. And then within 5.5 hours, they pretty much gave me a soft diagnosis of cancer. Within a week, I was on the table. They yanked that, and we started to follow how I was doing afterwards once we understood my staging. But if it wasn't for taking action, I wouldn't be able to experience these moments like this. I wouldn't have started this YouTube channel, because a lot of this came from not just being stuck in the chemo room, being stuck in a glass box in isolation, because when you're going through chemo, you have no immune system. You're just fighting to stay alive. And so when I got out last summer, I didn't know if I was going to have a deer season, and I did. And even though I didn't get a deer, I was still planning on hunting. And that's how I got into black bear hunting, because I wasn't sure I was going to be here, and I wanted to get in the outdoors. I love nature. I love getting outside. Whether I'm with friends or just by myself, it's a way for me to remember, where I come from, my culture. Gives me a lot of time to just sort myself out. And then on top of that too, I still go to the cancer center once to twice a month just to deal with my patient support care team. I talk to a psychologist to make sure I'm navigating survivorship properly. And so far I'm doing all the good things. But as you can tell, that doesn't mean it's an easy job. Sometimes things get very heavy. Sometimes, days get very dark. But if it's not for the support that I've had from everyone along the way, these days wouldn't be possible. And so if I could get a message out there, even within this video, take care of your health, take care of your mental health, take care of your physical health. It's never too early to start checking. Have a complete round of blood work. Start building that baseline of data, because it's not if, it's when something eventually does go wrong in your life from a health standpoint, you have a good understanding of what your normal is and what could be off. And a lot of people, they take that for granted just because they're young. They don't have, let's say, accessibility to some, let's say, the resources that they need in terms of, let's say, proximity to, let's say, healthcare or whatnot. But there's ways to get around there today. And so if it wasn't for these, hey, things may have been very different for me. Since then, I've started a YouTube channel. I'm coming up on 1,000 subscribers now. I'm starting to really connect with a whole bunch of people on Facebook, Instagram, and I didn't believe what these videos would turn into be, because now I'm getting comments. I'm getting a lot of inbox messages from people who are like me, other hunters, fishermen, people who are going through chemo, way worse cancers than I have. And some people are palliative. And this whole experience has now allowed them to kind of live vicariously through me. And last night, I was in the hospital at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had an MRI, and right now we're checking out my spine to see if I have any bulging discs or possibly cancer around my spine. We had a liver ultrasound last month too, just to see what was going on, just because some of my CAT scan imaging started to come back. So I'm hoping cancer isn't back. We didn't have all the blood work at the time, so who knows? Maybe things might be different by the time this video comes on out. But I'm still remaining positive, and I'm still pushing forward. But because of that attitude, because of this experience, other hunters are really opening up and sharing their stories. And some of them are just trying to make it to their next hunting season with their kids. So when I hear that type of stuff, it really fuels me to keep on doing this. I love to do it. I don't make any money off this. I do it out of enjoyment and just simply helping other people. Of course, there's a part of it where I want to continue to raise awareness for men's health, but a lot of it too is helping people, whoever just want to watch. And then there's an entertainment and educational standpoint from this too. And by all means, I'm not the best hunter. I'm not a great hunter by any means. I just practice a lot. I study a lot. I take my time. Like I said, this is the first deer ever, and I'm 34. And some people live in other states and they're hunting different parts or they hunt private land. I'm a public land hunter right now. Maybe I'll try some of those in the future. And, I still have goals of taking a buck with a crossbow or a compound. So, Karen, if you're watching this, I'm still trying to get Richard's bow to good use. Just the rifle beat me this year to it. So if I could get a video using Richard's bow, by all means, I'd love to do that for you. There's a lot of unique bonds that we could understand and run a lot of parallels when it comes down to nature, how it interacts with one another, what it is all about, and how we could apply that to, let's say, each other in our relationships, in our everyday lives. We're looking around us, we're connecting with different people, we're staying away from certain things, we're bringing others in, we're helping other peoples. And I think there's just some type of deep connection that I have with these animals that I harvest. And like I said in past videos, the hardest thing for me about hunting is actually pulling the trigger. I'd rather take videos and pictures and just study and understand the animals. By all means, every part of the steer will be used well. I'm going to be eating it. I'm probably going to keep the hide. I'll use it for my wolf baiting. And then once I'm done processing it, I'll be returning the carcass to the woods, because I believe in being a good environmental steward and returning things back to the land where they came from to support the environment and the ecosystem too. So tonight, we're going to be dropping this off at B&D Meats on LaSalle and Sudbury. Josh, Paul, and Mo, thanks for everything, guys. You guys do fantastic work. I'm super lucky to have met you guys, and I'm excited to bring you guys this one in tonight. But want to give a few thanks. This one's going to be hard. I want to thank a few people who aren't here. Like I said, my dad, Grandpa George, I don't know where I'd be without hunting. On top of that, I also want to throw a big shout out to one of my biggest mentors for hunting, Pat. Pat, man, we did it. Without you, man, none of this would have been possible. Not the wolf, not the bear, not the deer. Thank you so much. I love our conversations, and trust me, I'll get out west, and hopefully we could go up north sometime sooner than later and maybe go after a moose, elk, who knows. But I have to get out there first. But I just want to say thanks a lot, everything, man. And I've always been the type of person to have 4 quarters and 100 pennies. So I got my boys, my best friend TJ. You've seen me through some really hard times. It's funny how emotional I can get in these times. After all, I'm looking like a rugged man, mustache, Used to be a bodybuilder, tough guy. Now I'm just cracking up like a kid. TJ, man, we got it done too. Don't know where I'd be without you, man. I met you back when I was 17, 18. And this party's just getting started, man. Thanks for everything. Having a couple beers, a few phone calls, catching up, helping me. Helping me in my darkest days. It means a lot, man. And if I could do anything to help you in return, hey, you know I'm there. He's the type of guy that I'd pick up in the middle of the night and know that he'd show up. So, hey man, let's get this party started. Also, congrats on your buck this year. We both did. I think yours got me though, but maybe that'll change next year. A few other guys I want to thank is Seth. Hey man, you're another really close buddy that you come from really good core values. It's something I appreciate. I see how you engage with you and your family, you and Tiff, and where you come from. And it's something that I really respect. And even though I probably likely won't have children in my lifetime, to see you guys live a wholesome life with your family the way you guys do with the challenges that you have, super admirable. I respect it a lot. You guys are great people. Thanks. Keegan, bud. We got it again. Hope we get a few more birds this year, but you've helped me a lot during some hard times too, man. The last 2-3 years, we've become really good buddies. And heck, thanks for helping me with all the things along the way, from not just the bear hunt and the wolf hunt, but then also just helping me through chemo on some of my darkest days too. I appreciate your insight, appreciate your wisdom, I appreciate you as a person. Keep it up. You motivate me to keep pushing on forward. I want to give a quick shout out to my mom. We did it. I know I tell you every year. I'm getting closer. Well, now I finally did it. And wow. I can't wait to show you this. Have you over tonight. Give you a great big hug. So there's a whole bunch more people that I could thank. I'll give a quick shout out to the Saras and the Andrettas. Thanks for everything over the past little bit. I know it hasn't been easy by any means, but hey, it'd be foolish for me not to thank you guys. Have played your part in helping me become a better hunter by letting me get into the outdoors, encouraging me along the way, providing all the support I need, especially through chemo. The past 2.5 years with cancer hasn't been easy, and without you guys, I wouldn't. Without you guys, I don't know if I'd be here. So, thank you so much. Now, what we're going to do is continue to get this guy on out of here. We got to gut him. I got a bit of a drag back to the truck. We're going to take the heart, the liver out of this guy, get him home. We're going to hang him, take his hide off, and get him cooled down. But it's about 2 o'clock right now, so it gives me about 2.5 hours to get things going before darkness comes. And I'm excited to bring you guys along for that too. But anyways, the work starts now. There we go. Game sealed. This is a special one. We'll find out what we're going to do with it later on. Maybe put it with a picture. All right, so I'm all done gutting the deer. I've roped them up. I got the heart, I got the liver. Now all I got to do is start making my way back to the truck. It's just after 4 o'clock, so I got about an hour to make it back to the road. So we got a good hike though. And hey, if I got to take a few breaks, and so be it. I've taken my time this afternoon just because, hey, these days don't come that often, if ever, right? So I'm grateful, I'm lucky, I'm having one hell of a good time, but let's get after it. All right, guys, we're back in from the woods. We're in the shop. We got the deer hung up by the squat rack. Now what we're gonna do is skin it, take the hide off. I'm gonna get it cleaned, and then I'm gonna drop it off at the butcher's tomorrow. I'm gonna be using, like I said, B&D Meats on LaSalle. Josh does fantastic work, as well as the owners, Paul and Mo. I am super excited to drop this deer off. It's too bad I couldn't get it off tonight, but hey, tomorrow's still gonna be pretty good. This hunt was pretty much how I expected it to go. I knew where the deer were going. However, I didn't expect that deer to come up on my 4 or 5 o'clock in the way he did. By the time I realized, like I said, he was here maybe 8-9 yards, and we took him a few yards after that. But it was a north blowing wind, and the wind was blowing in my direction. But he came from almost my southeast side, and I was expecting him to scent me. And he actually stood in that same spot for roughly 3 minutes, and then he gave me an opportunity to shoot after jumping up from my chair, turning around. Because I'm a right-handed shooter, and he came super close. I just turned, and I had the gun in my hand. I couldn't do anything because I'm not going to take a left-hand shot. That's just not my standard. But I found out how resilient these animals are. This is my first deer, and the first shot could have been better placed. I'll admit that. I took a photo of the deer, of specifically the shot placement that I did, and went in right there. And what ended up happening is I went through both front legs. I broke them both, but I also broke the bottom ribs of the chest cavity. So I shot a little low, could have been a lot higher in my opinion, and been a lot faster expiration. But that's just how these things go. That's one of the reasons why I try to be a better hunter all the time. See what I could improve, whether it's not just my skills, scouting, understanding terrain, but also shot placement too. So looks like I got more work to do. The second shot, double lung, right there, right in the breadbasket, pass through, easy. He didn't go very far afterwards, and then he piled up. So these animals, sure, it only has 4 points, but this animal ran another 200 yards after that first shot, and half of it was probably up a 55 to 65 degree incline. So he was doing that with 2 broken legs, and yeah, that just really speaks volumes to how tough these animals are. And makes it a lot more rewarding when you have a successful hunt, but then also, like I said, really gives you some heavy emotions in terms of humility and accepting what you could have done better. So I always want to do this as ethically and clean as I possibly can. So regardless, for next season, I'm still going to be better. So now we're going to get to work. I'm taking my time. I've had the deer up for about 2 hours, and it's -3 Celsius now. I think it's around like 37, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's cool in here. I got the back windows open. I got the front door open, and I'm going to skin it tonight. But right now, I don't know. I'm taking my time. I'm enjoying the moment. These things don't happen often. For me, they've never happened before. I've seen a lot of deer in garages, and as a kid being grown up in Ontario, it wasn't uncommon to have some of your buddies do the same thing in high school. That's just what we did. This is, like I said, culture, part of our hometown upbringing, and what we did to not just pass time, but put, food on the table for some families for sure. So for this deer, I'm probably going to do all steaks. If you know that I've been starting to hunt black bears, I did a whole bunch of roasts, stewing cubes, and ground meat too, and that was all from B&D. They do great work. So, but right now, I think we will probably wrap up this video here. Thanks for all the support. Like I said, I did a pretty big, let's say, thank you spiel after I got the deer, so I don't know how much more needs to be said. Thanks for all the viewers. Thank you for those who have subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet to the YouTube channel, make sure to do so. You'll follow a lot more of these longer format films. I put up a lot more daily posts as well as shorts there too. I do quite a bit of outdoor rugged, let's say, adventures. Upcoming, I'm probably going to be doing maybe a 2026 wolf hunt. But if I have some time and I'm able to get a bait fired up, just maybe I'll try to fill up my second wolf tag for 2025. So I'm still trying to figure things out, but stay tuned because we're going to have a lot more content coming your way. I'm also trying to do a lot more awareness for men's health issues. Obviously, you know that that's been a big theme of this video too, since I'm a testicular cancer patient. So if you or you know someone who may be struggling with a men's health subject, highly encourage you guys to seek out help because you never know. It might just save your life or save someone else's life as well. But we'll wrap up this video here. Thanks for everyone who stayed along to this part. Like the video, share it with your friends, and we'll catch you next time.